Hi there, let's talk about the CAGED method or the CAGED system, which is a way of learning how to use the whole neck of the guitar in any key. It uses chord shapes as kind of landmarks to help you find scale patterns or scale shapes. That doesn't mean to say that if a chord progression changes chord, you have to change what you're doing. For example, if I'm in the key of C and I've got a chord progression that goes C, A minor, F, G, I don't have to change the pattern I'm using for every chord. As long as I'm in the key of C, I can just stay where I am or use any C chord as a landmark to finding a particular scale pattern. Let me show you what I mean. So let's learn the C major scale patterns across the whole neck. Now what we need to do first of all is use chords as landmarks. So what I mean by that is if I play, say, an E-shaped bar chord, I happen to know there's a scale that fits right over that. Okay, if I played a C chord again, but if I played an A shape like this or this, I happen to know there's a major scale shape that fits over that, and so on. And there's actually 5 chord shapes that we use to find these patterns. The C shape bar chord, A shape, G shape, E shape, D shape, and that spells out CAGED. First of all, you need to know, obviously, the C chord, the A chord, the G chord, the E chord, and the D chord. Now when I play a C chord, you see that the plastic nut here, that's essentially my bar. But when I move C up the neck, the nut doesn't come with me. Ideally it would. But what I need to do to make this a movable bar chord is move everything up a finger, and then my index finger is now free to bar the remaining strings. So that's a C-shaped bar chord. It's only a C chord though when it's here. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and back to C again. Let's play that up here and stick to the key of C. So here's my C chord using a C shape. Now, no one in their right mind would choose to play a C like that. We'd probably use an open C, A shape, E shape. But the point of this is not that you have to play these chords, you have to be able to visualize in your mind where that chord is, and then you know there's a scale pattern that fits over it. Now let me show you what the scale pattern is. And there's the root note there. So I played 12, 13, 15, on the A string 12, 14, 15, on the D string 12, 14, 15, G string 12, 14, B string 12, 13, 15, and the same on the top E. And in reverse, 15, 13, 12, same with the B, then 14, 12, 15, 14, 12, same on the A, and then 15, 13, 12. The root notes, the notes of C are here and here. They're sort of the safe notes, if you like. So if you were improvising, that sounds kind of resolved. Okay, let's look at the next pattern, the A shape. Now this joins on here, but I'm kind of running out of guitar if I do that. So I'm going to play this 12 frets lower. I'm going to play my A-shaped chord of C here. Now if I move this around, it's always A-shaped, but it's not always a chord of C. It's only C when I'm here because the root note there is a C. If I played this chord here, this would be a D because my root note is the D. That's a note of D there. So the root note for this chord is on the A string, just like the previous chord. So here's the notes: 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, reverse 5, 3, 6, 5, 3, 5, 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, 3. Sounds like it wants to come back to the root note. Okay, the chord that then joins onto this is the G shape. Now we can't really play a G-shaped chord. I've run out of fingers, so we have to kind of compromise a little bit and play this. Now this is horrible. You can see how uncomfortable that looks. So I'm just going to cheat a bit and I'm going to play just this and not bother with the top E string. Now I don't really need to play this chord. As long as I know it's there and I can sort of visualize it in my mind, I can then just play the scale pattern that fits over this. Okay, and it looks like this. 5, 5, 7, 8. There's the root note. 5, 7, 8. 5, 7. 4, 5, 7. 5, 6, 8. 5, 7, 8. In reverse, 8, 7, 5. 8, 6, 5. 7, 5, 4. 7, 5. 8, 7, 5. 8, 7, 5. And there's that root note. Okay, and there's a root note there, and there's one there. In the last lesson we did this shape, the E shape, and the scale that fits over it is 8, 10, then 7, 8, 10, and then 7, 9, 10, and again 7, 9, 10, 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 10, 8, 7, 10, 8, 7, no sorry, 10, 9, 7, 10, 9, 7, 10, 8, 7, 10, 8. Okay, and then finally we've got the very awkward D-shaped chord of C. Looks like a little D chord there, but it's up here. Again, you wouldn't want to play this necessarily. If you were playing a C chord, you'd play something more comfortable, but as long as you can picture it in your mind and know that there's a pattern, scale pattern that fits over that, and it looks like this. 10, 12, 13, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13, and again 10, 12, 13. In reverse, 13, 12, 10, and again 13, 12, 10, 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10. And it sounds like the root note is there or there. So now we've got all these different patterns. What we can do is we can run up and down just to practice. And if you want, you can then come back, or you could maybe slide over to the next pattern. Now, all these patterns kind of merge together, so you can actually slide in and out of them and play in a kind of horizontal fashion. So, for example, I could be playing the the A shape scale, slide into the G shape, and then I could slide over to the E shape, and the D shape. To the E shape. Okay, so I'm using the whole neck, and the patterns just repeat again up here. So that was a kind of quick crash course in the C major scale. Now bear in mind, you can move these scales around for different keys. So for example, let's take the C shape. We learned the C shape chord here. Now if I played this chord, and there's my root note, that's a C. If I make that note an A on the 12th fret, I can play an A major scale using the appropriate pattern that follows that chord shape, which I'm going to call the C shape scale. Okay, we had this chord here, this A shape. Imagine moving this around, maybe to say here, this is an E chord, because of that root note there. And remember, we learnt a scale pattern that fits this chord, and if I play that, improvisation in the key of E. And then let's say we took the G shape, which we learnt here. That's a chord of C, but if I was to put that, say here, I've got a chord of D, because of this D note here. I've got a little improvisation in the key of D. And if I took the D shape, which we learnt here, I could maybe play it here. That's a chord of G. And I could play the appropriate scale pattern for that. And again, I've got a little improvisation. And by the way, the pentatonic scales are hiding within those patterns.